UFC 317 just took place last night, and I'm going to give you every fight to go over, or to make, I should say, moving forward, starting with the main event. Ilia Topuria KOs Charles Oliveira brutally, brutally. I, I'm sorry, Charles, but Ilia on GOAT pace, man. He on pace to be the greatest ever. He should fight Arman Sarukian. Like, it's about time that Arman gets his title shot. The I know he fucked up like the main event in January, but my thing is there's no one else to give it to. There's no one else worthy of it. Paddy Pimblett, they shouldn't have done that shit yesterday, letting him in the cage. Joe Rogan is a fucking dumbass. He should never have gotten in the cage. Paddy Pimblett just beat Michael Chandler. I know Charles Oliveira got a title shot off Michael Chandler. That's not the same thing. It's not. Paddy Pimblett's ranked, what, 7 maybe? He needs a number one contender fight. He should be fighting Justin Gaethje or Dan Hooker. And Ilia's, I mean, he took no damage, so he's likely to come back in the next 6 months, 7 months. He said last night in his interview he could come back for the end of the year if the UFC wants him. That'd be fucking perfect. Have him in MSG co-maining, or he's too big to co-main. He's too big of a name to co-main. I was gonna say co-main him with Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gahn and like MSG. But UFC's not doing that. But I think Arman Sarukian is the next up because Islam Makhachev is still to be booked to fight JDM at the end of this year. So there will be too much of a time gap for when Islam loses because Islam's going to lose. So Arman Sarukian is the next up. Just also, it's also a time thing because again, Paddy Pimblett needs a number one contender fight. Justin Gaethje is not getting a title shot off of beating Fiziev. He's not. So you're left with Max Holloway, who's not getting a title shot. He just lost if he beats Dustin Poirier, and Dustin Poirier is retiring. That's the whole top 5. Arman needs a title shot, and he's also Ilia's number 1 challenge too. So Arman Sarukian, Ilia Topuria, book it. Moving on. Charles Oliveira. Charles, I'm sorry, Charles, but they set you up for failure. Max Holloway, no brainer. Charles Oliveira's probably got 2 or 3 fights left in the sport, period. Why not? Why not book him against Max Holloway? I think Max is going to beat Dustin, but win or lose, Charles has to fight someone way below him. Or not way below him, but below him. And the logic for that is he's not fighting Gaethje. He's going to, realistically, Charles is not fighting for another 7, 8, 9 months. I could see him coming back like next April or something, next March. But, I mean, he just got brutally knocked out. He's going to take a break, think about things. He's probably going to contemplate retirement. We know how this story goes. Max Holloway is presumably going to take a good amount of damage against Dustin Poirier. They're probably going to go to war. He's going to need another break. And just with scheduling-wise, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira is a no-brainer. Win or lose, Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway is a banger fight. We know they fought before fucking 11 years ago. This is a banger fight. If Max Holloway beats Charles Oliveira, if he beats Dustin Poirier, then Charles Oliveira, you can argue him getting a title shot or you can argue him having to fight another one for after that. But this is no-brainer. This is a fan-favorite fight. This makes sense. Book that regardless of the results at the pay-per-view next month. Moving on to the co-main event. Alejandro Pantoja destroys Kai Kara France. This motherfucker is... No one's beating him at flyweight. Obviously, you book him against Josh Van. They wanted Josh Van, and Josh Van is one of my favorite fighters. They wanted Josh Van to win. 30-27 is a pre-written scorecard if I've ever seen one. But... well deserved, you know. Josh Van, they set it up. They had a face off, and Pantoja said he wanted to fight him, and Josh Van obviously he just beat the number 1 contender. Pantoja's beating everyone in the top 10 outside of fucking Amir Albazi and Tatsuro Taira. You know, He's beating everybody. So Josh Van is a fresh newcomer for Pantoja. Fresh name. Josh Van took a lot of damage, so this fight should not happen. Josh Van is very fucking active though, so this fight could happen at the end of the year, co-maining like on the December card or co-maining in January. He's not like this. I don't think this is gonna be a challenge for Pantoja. Um, yeah, Pantoja's unstoppable. He needs to fight this fight and then fight Marab immediately. That would be an amazing fight. It'd be so stupid if we didn't get to see that fight. Because after this fight, there's no other fights to make at flyweight unless Manel Cap. Fuck Manel Cap. We're gonna talk about Manel Cap later. But there's no other fight to make outside of this. And I'm completely overlooking Josh Van because Pantoja of what he did yesterday and what he's been doing. He's getting better as he ages. Josh Van versus Pantoja is the fight to make. Moving on to the loser of that fight, Kai Kara France. Book Kai Kara France Manel Cap, man. It's been too fucking long. It's been too long. We should have been saw this fight. There's no fucking reason why we should not have seen this fight already. And now Manel Cap's injured. First of all, Kai Kara France fights once a year, if that. No, he fights once a year. So he's going to fight, next? May, June, July, August. Manel Cap is, coming off an injury. I think Kai Kara France is ranked 4th. Manel Cap is 7 or something. Perfect matchup. There's tension, obviously. Going to be a great press conference, great trash talk. It's going to be a great stand-up fight, too. We hope. But, Manel Cap's a dumbass, so he'll find a way to pull out of it. But this is the most obvious fight for you to book. UFC, this is the most obvious fight to book. Stop delaying this fight before one of them, just come on, book the fight. We need this fight in the flyweight division. Moving on to the feature fight of the card. We already talked about Josh Van, but for the loser, Brandon Royval, he said if he loses, he's going to move up to bantamweight. And with the scheduling and the matchups that are going to be made for bantamweight, he can't just move up and get a ranked opponent. But he can get the next best thing. Honey Barcelos. This is a very winnable matchup for Brandon Royval. Barcelos his stand-up's pretty mid. I don't think Barcelos is that good. He keeps fighting dumbasses. But his stand-up is pretty... Brandon Royval has great takedown defense. And that's at flyweight. So I'm assuming that that's going to translate to bantamweight. He's like 5'9" or something. He's a big flyweight. He's big as fuck. So it shouldn't be that difficult for him to put on a little muscle. And he's going to be the same height as all the bantamweights. So why not? He might be taller than 5. I don't know. He's tall as fuck. But this is a perfect matchup for him stylistically. He can win this, and then he can fight a ranked opponent after that and try to work his way up. But he can't get a Vinicius Oliveira who's fighting I think Kyler Phillips next month or some shit. So he's not getting a ranked matchup. Put him against Honey Barcelos. The thing with Barcelos is he fought this month. So that also works for scheduling wise. He fought this month. Royval just took a lot of fucking damage to his leg, to his face. He took a shit ton of damage, so he's probably not going to fight again until 2026. Fucked up, but that's how that shit works. Barcelos, he tends to stay active, but this is the fight to make. Moving on. Feed Beneil to Fiziev. Please. Beneil's not fighting anyone above him. I think off the top of my head, the people above Beneil are Patty, Dan Hooker, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway, Arman, and Ilia. He's not fighting any of those fucking fighters. He's not getting He's not getting that. He's not. There's no one for him to match up against, and anybody that they put him against is just fucking stupid. Rafael Fiziev is 10 or 11. He's gonna move above Renato Moicano in the rankings if he's not already. This is the fight to book. Fiziev fought last week. Beneil fought this week. Fiziev didn't take a ton of damage, but give him a little break. He's not fighting Gamrot. Don't book that fight against Gamrot. Give him Beneil so he can move his way up into the rankings and start fighting. He can start taking better names, because him taking Justin Gaethje on short notice, that was some bullshit. I like Fiziev. Give him Beneil. Let him destroy Beneil. That fight was dog shit with him and Moicano. Moving on to Moicano. Oh my gosh. I can't afford to lose. He fucking lost. Feed him to the fucking wolves. Feed him to the wolves. Joel Alvarez, he pulled out against his fight against Benoit Saint Denis last month. Feed him to the wolves, man. I'm praying that Moicano was injured. I am. I hope he was injured and hurt and about to fucking die or something, because he looked dog shit. Against Beneil, of all people, who also looked dog shit. So it's just like, do I really care to see Moicano get a favorable matchup? Nah, because he's got the 11th spot or the 10th spot right now, or the 11th. Joel Alvarez is 15. Give him Joel Alvarez. Let him go feast on Moicano. He's going to knock Moicano out in the first round. The hype train is derailed for Moicano. I had picked him to win. I never made that video. I've had a busy ass week. I picked him to win. He looked like absolute dog shit. From his entrances to takedowns to his striking to his IQ decision making, everything about that fight was fucking dog shit. Give him Joel Alvarez, who's on a tear right now, entertaining as fuck. He's gonna knock Moicano out, and we can, then Moicano can go get a desk job for the UFC or something. He really pissed me off. Moicano, motherfucker. Moving on. Peyton Talbot. It's Pride Month, bro. Let me not. Peyton Talbot beat Felipe Lima. Not a very impressive performance. Not a very entertaining fight whatsoever. He's shown growth in his takedown defense, but I don't think he's that good, because I think Felipe Lima is so fucking stupid and dumb that when we got shown that simple shit can still stagger Peyton Talbot. When Felipe Lima would hit him with a normal 1-2, go for a double leg, stop going for spinning back fist that won't fucking land, he was having success against Talbot. I think Talbot is a very flawed fighter. He called out Adrian Yanez, book it. Good call out, good progression in the bantamweight division. Good for him to get his reps in. Adrian Yanez is like, he lost his last fight, split decision, I think it was. Book that fight, let Talbot beat him up. I think he will beat him up. You're not punishing him, putting him against like a Ricky Simone or something who's gonna grapple fuck him to death and just derail the already derailed hype train of Peyton Talbot. Don't really want to talk about that fight. Pissed me off yesterday. I had Felipe Lima winning I was telling people about Lima, and Lima's just a fucking dumbass. So moving on. Gregory Rodriguez. It's a moment of silence for Jack Hermanson. All right, that's done. Gregory Rodriguez killed Jack Hermanson yesterday. Book Abbas Magomedov. Book it. This would be one of the most fun first rounds ever, I think. I would hope. Abbas, his last performance against Mikel Pereira was not good at all, but I think him and RoboCop would be a great fight. RoboCop would win, so then it would give him a chance to be like right outside the rankings because he's probably sitting in like 20th right now. Abbas is probably like, he just moved out of the rankings, so he's probably 17, 16, 17. Lets RoboCop get right there, and then lets him take a ranked opponent. He could probably fight Joe Pyfer or something, whoever. Give Gregory Rodriguez Abbas Magomedov, not Nurmagomedov. Yeah, I mean, he didn't take that much damage. Abbas didn't take any damage at all in his fight, and that was a month or two ago. It was a month ago. I think it was May. Gregory got a first round KO, didn't take much damage. This fight should be booked for the prelims of UFC Abu Dhabi in October, the pay-per-view that'll have Ankalaev versus Pereira. I pray to God not. But that will probably be that pay-per-view. Book this in the prelims. They always seem to stack the prelims in that region of the world. Book this. This is a no-brainer. It's either this or Joe Pyfer, but I don't think he just deserves that step up in comp just yet. Gregory, I mean, not step up in comp because I think he can beat Joe Pyfer, but I don't think he is due for that jump to a ranked opponent. Like Joe Pyfer's 13, I think. So, book Abbas Magomedov. And yeah, those are the fights to make for after watching UFC 317. What I really want to happen, this is the fairy tale I got in my head. I want Ilia to beat Arman at the end of the year in like a co-main or a main event in December. I want Islam JDM in November. I think JDM is going to lose I think Islam is going to lose to JDM. And then they will be on the exact same schedule. Islam and Ilia will be on similar schedules. After Islam's loss, his failed ones, he's not going to stay up at 170. He's going to come back down to 155. There's going to be immense hype around Ilia Topuria. Then there's going to be those people, oh, Islam's coming off a loss. What is Ilia really beating the number one, the best version of Islam? And then they can fight at the next International Fight Week, or they can fight in July. Give Islam a break, give Ilia a little break. He fights 2 times this year, 2 times in 6 months, whatever. That's the ideal scenario. We know Islam's not going to fight in March. That's Ramadan. We know he's not going to fight in April. It's too close to Ramadan. Or that's still might be Ramadan. I don't fucking know. May, June, July pay-per-view. June for my birthday. It could be on. You know what I'm saying? Ilia versus Islam for the 155 belt. That's what I got in mind. But appreciate y'all for watching this video, man. Stay tuned. More videos on the way. Ranking UFC, the welterweight division coming soon. Y'all have a good night, man.